The Hebrew text in the Bible has hidden formats. By revealing these formats, I will prove the first writer's words were hidden from you. These formats look like poetry as I group them into small paragraphs. Their grouping will become known as a psalm, and together they become psalms. Let me show you our Creator's 12 commandments, listed in Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. Any father of a family or his wife who did not obey any one of these 12 commandments, our Creator demanded they bring him a sin offering. Thus, our Creator defined the word sin as not obeying any one of these 12 commandments. Next, I want to show you how I changed one word in Exodus 26, verse 26, the word bars to arches, and the words now reveal the style of the roof for our Creator's tent for meeting with Him. Let me show you the translator's words from the preface of the 1611 King James Bible. They gave 4 reasons for themselves or others to edit the Bible's words. The red arrow at the top points to their 3rd reason to edit the text. By the light and feeling we attained unto ourselves. The next red arrow down points to them giving the title, the Divine, to a clerk named Gregory. The next block of words, they point out they were happy that the first emperor of Rome established the year to the course of the sun. Behind this text means Nebuchadnezzar ordered his kingdom to follow our Creator's calendar when he stopped eating grass. Did you notice the letter S in sun is capitalized? This is to give respect to the Egyptian sun god Ra. Have you seen the Egyptian obelisk in the Vatican's front yard? The last arrow points to your reward for studying the Bible. Your reward is to have a fellowship with the saints and participation of a heavenly nature that will never fade away. There is no such thing as nature to a truthful Christian. Our Creator created everything. By their own words, they were not seeking to know our Creator or Jesus. Not everyone has the knowledge to correct every word. I have an old Bible program that has the New American Standard Bible 1977 concordance to help find a better word. Their concordance has the number of times they use that English word in a parenthesis for that Hebrew word. The translators removed his name, YHVH, to put in 2 titles, Lord and God. I replaced those titles using the letters Y and V as his name. For the Hebrew language does not have a J, O, or W. By using these 2 letters, I am closer to the truth than anyone using J, O, or W for his name. So why is there a single letter O in the Hebrew text 1,095 times? No proper English was used? The blue highlighted text is text that I am removing? The red highlighted words are little words. Okay, that's enough of that introduction there. I messed it up. Sorry about that. I'm doing Isaiah chapter 12 today. Wow. And Isaiah is a king at this, or as a prophet at these 2 kings' time. They've tried to put him with this king and this king as well. But what he is talking about, or maybe it's not him, it could be another prophet, because the name Isaiah is not used that many times as to start off saying this vision is from Isaiah. And so the text, what we're having here in Isaiah, does have a lot about Jesus, but it also has a lot about the destruction of the kingdom Israel. And I've got to do this over here. Sorry, that's really bad over there. YouTube is delayed so bad for me. So, but what you see here is 11 that I've done, and this is part 1, and you can see it's a 3-verse format. So let me get a little closer to show you what the 3-verse format is. What the 3-verse format is this is a statement, and then these 2 become a comma period to make a longer verse, but these 2 verses define the statement for us. And this becomes a small paragraph, and then when it repeats itself, these two become a larger paragraph, and then they repeat and repeat. And this is the truths about what Jesus, he's going to have these words: understanding, counsel, strength, and knowledge, fear of YV. This is a 4-verse format where I have a comma and a period. Those two make a larger sentence, but are very well connected, and it repeats, and this becomes like a small paragraph. And if most of the time, usually text does give me a second paragraph, but 11 was so choppy that you can see here that it changed to 3-verse, and then it changed to 4-verse, and then you'd see these 2 verses become, or these 2 paragraphs become a larger paragraph. And then it changed again right off the bat to a 3-verse, and then that was the end of the text. And I'm going to do 12 now. So if you have any questions, put them in the comment section here, and I will try to get to them. It might take some time, but I try to answer all of them. And you really need to put @ and then my name on the YouTube chat or comment, and that way I can find, or it notifies me. If you don't put that in there, I have a harder time finding that you've commented. I've got quite a few videos up now. All right. So what you can see a bit here is my editing marks, so I'll explain them as I go along here. And let me get the text a little bit bigger so you're following as I'm speaking here. So you notice how it doesn't start out with any words that's saying this is from Isaiah. So then you will say on that day, I will give thanks to you, YV. Although you were angry with me, your anger has turned away, and you did comfort me. Now this is something our Creator's prophecies are always about our Creator telling what's going to happen in the future if you do not repent, or he's going to tell about when Jesus is coming. Now Isaiah is so close to the end that Jesus is appearing in the text more and more. As I go backwards in the books, you'll find the spacing a little bit different, not as much about Jesus. Now you can see over here, right here in the white text, I've already put some books together, so you can go into YouTube and get, I believe I got from Daniel, no, I just got Jeremiah up there, Jeremiah to up to the time just before Jesus is born, which that'll be the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Now I will cover myself up here pretty soon and show you Psalms. Now Psalms is a PDF to download and show my first editing, finding the formats, then cleaning up the formats, and then saying this is really, really clean. And then I took the prophet or the words about Jesus and I put him into a slideshow here. So yeah, maybe I'll put that up right now. Okay, now those slide by about every 20 seconds, so if you take a screenshot from here to there, then you can take a look at them, better look at how Jesus is appearing in the text, and his will be all red letter when I get it finished. Then you will say on that day. Now to make it a 2-verse format, now what I'm doing when I'm looking for the format, I'm trying to use 1-2 words that are very important and then the least amount of small words to connect them. Whoops, let me get that, and you see, let me show you here that I'm using the word just in Israel, and this is the nation as all one when they came into the promised land, Israel, or here and here, here and here. And that's how I group the two major words to become the format. Okay, so you will say that day, give thanks. Now here, I'm trying to think of, is this the words from a prophet? To say that this is, see, sometimes I get text telling what happened to the prophet. Sometimes I'm getting, like when he's arguing with the people, those type of comments, or what has happened or what came about for the problem for that prophet. So these have too many words in it to make it a true format like I'm finding. So I'm going to say these words are completely out and go on to see if I can find others. The title God, which everybody does not understand, the word God as a title. So let me show you here in this. This is the word El, and they're using for God. But notice how many times they even use it as power or strong. So this type of the wording, in fact, they even used it as this guy's name, I guess. So the thing here is when it's El, it's not really, it's their word that is comparing their false God to our creator for people try to understand who our creator is. If I show you here that I go a little bit farther and click on this title and see, now we have Jesus's name and then we have YV here. Okay, so if I go back into the text, instead of saying this is both the correct words here, if I put this word in and then I'll put his name in here. So let me do that, and that starts correcting the text really quick. So this is YV, and over here this will be YAH, and this is Jesus' name that the Hebrews gave him. Now, I know you haven't been here probably before to watch videos, but let me show you how what happens and why I'm saying this Hebrew word is Jesus' name. This is King Ezekiel in chapter 38 of Isaiah, Hezekiah, and he's going to be talking about, I will not see Yah in the land of the living. And you know they were to wait for Jesus. So this is, I have probably about 3 or 4 other verses, but this one is the strongest, I believe, to say his name is Yah, or they gave him the name Yah. Okay. Behold, God is my salvation. Now this has got to be the wrong title, because at all times does the text, example, if I put in El, E-L, that really does not help anybody, because you've seen what I showed you in the concordance, how they didn't use El for meaning God at all as once. So I will have to say, I'm going to say for my salvation. So now this does sound like a prophet talking, right? Right? I mean, for my salvation, I will trust. Trust and not be afraid of them. this should be the word mankind here. They have a meditation practice where they meditate to have a so-called sex with a so-called female goddess, that they then have this experience, and then later there will be a bubble that'll go around their body, and that bubble is the single letter O in the Bible. O God, O Lord, O Creator, O Holy Spirit. And you wouldn't read the text that way. You would read it the other way. Oh God, oh Lord, oh Creator. See, so they've deceived you, because there is no letter O in the Hebrew text. That I know did come up on the intro. So 1,000 or over 1,000 times did they just add the single letter O, and Hebrews never had that. So that's why that O is in the text. Is for their God. For my salvation, I will trust. No, I'm thinking this word is wrong. I'm thinking this, I will trust space, whoops, space, yeah. And then that's the period. Then it would be almost like my God if he's talking to them. So if I use the word behold, let me see if I have a better word to use than behold here. If, no. See. Here. To behold, even they used it 941 times. So that's what I'm looking for, to see if that's the best word I can use with the number count. But I don't, that's not a good enough word. And if he's going to be talking to others, for my salvation is from Yah, for YHVH is my strength. And I think I need to get rid of this word here. Yah is my strength, and he has, and he will come for my salvation. He will become my salvation, meaning that he has to become the king before he has salvation. So, but this means that this is our Creator's promise. He will become, he will, not has, that's, we know Jesus doesn't appear for another 200 years, maybe 300 years from where this text is coming. So I'm going to add this. This is the promise from our Creator. He will become my salvation. For my salvation, I trust Yah, and YV. For my salvation I trust. And YV. Now this could be where I need to later switch these two words around, because our Creator has promised Jesus to be coming. So for my salvation I trust YV and Yah, for he will become my salvation. See how those words need to be switched around? And I will do that in the next editing. Draw water from the springs of salvation. That does not ever happen. See, now here, this is what they were saying up here. You'll say in that day, you will give thanks. Now down here, it's being said, so they've had to rewrite the introduction to this chapter. For in his days, lifetime is what they use this. Whoops, I need to, well, I first need to make this blue or red, and then this I've added. A lot of editing there. And this, he is being promised. And I'm adding, for in his days they will say, I think it's we, because there's going to be many of them. We will thanks to Ivy. We thank Ivy. And so maybe I got too quick here and get rid of this and this. For in his day they will say, we thank Ivy. And he, Jesus, and he will call on our Creator's name. Let's see. I'm adding this, I'm adding this. I didn't add this, but this is Jesus being told. Is it? I'm going to put it back down in regular text, because this just seems to be what a prophet is saying, not that he's prophesying yet. So, for in his days they will say, we thank YV, and he will call on his name. To make his name known, to make I'd have to say himself. No one. And a lot of times when I'm using these three words like this word isn't actually a major word, but it is a major word in this verse, and I can't get away without I can't get away with not doing this. Three words of this one. Let me see. And he will call on his name to make. Well, let me get rid of this. Make known his works. His miracles, but I'm going to say his works right now, his acts. This would be Jesus. So I'm changing deeds to acts. And I can't remember if I added or not added the word his to make known. I'm going to say it was there. I can't remember. His. No, I don't think it was. So I'm going to just make it italic and say I'm adding it. But if I color it red, it's going to wipe it out so you can't see his name. To make known his acts among us. This is a 4-verse stuck in the middle here. To be exalted. But this is a 4-verse, and I can't get around without it being a 4-verse. And that fuchsia colored word is a word that they added in 1977, which I think was somewhere between, I usually say 8 to 9,000 is try to where I keep it and make. To make them remember his name is to be exalted. But this is a 4-verse. This is doing this. And like I say, I don't try to force a 3-verse unless this is the only 4-verse that starts breaking into 3-verse. Then I look to try to force it to be a 3-verse. But right now, I'm saying that's a 4-verse. Okay, it is the letter YHVH here. Praise YV. Let this be known throughout earth. Let Yah be known. And let Yah. That they've used the word this to represent Jesus. So a lot of times they'll use the word it as Jesus. So this is the intent of the word, so I'm not saying I'm adding it. Let Yah be known throughout the earth. Praise YB. For he not has, he will. Let's correct the little words here first. For he will, let's see here. Now, when they have words like that, it's, let me see, done. Okay, see over here, these two words. This one, excellent things. They just made two words into it, and this is the time that they did this once. Proud, majesty. Majestic. Things. Used as the word column once. So that's kind of the corruption of the text. You can't go back and put the most numbered word here in that word, wherever it is appears. So, well, I'm seeing chapter 13. Okay, I didn't know that was going to be so quick here today. See, if I click on O, you can see that Strong's didn't think it was a strong enough word to add to the, and I know that the letter O is not his existence. So those O inhabitants that I told you about of Zion is what they're talking about here. Excellent things he will done. I like a word accomplish. Yes, he will accomplish. So let me use that word for this word. ACCOMPLIS, accomplish. Now this is good. You will accomplish columns. No, yeah, I don't have the right word for accomplish. Because if I try to use the word proud, right, from here, I use the word proud or proudly. Then I have to say what words here would go acted proudly by using his name. Deals proudly, does proudly. Then all of a sudden we got evildoer. Let's see, happen proudly. Made proudly. No. Acted proudly. Let me see how that works here. Acted. He will act. He will act proudly. Praise Yah, for he will act. Throughout the earth. So if I do proudly here, now they could have used it, but I'm going to use it. Now will be known throughout the earth. Okay. But then these become the 4-verse. So now I've got 2 4 verses in a row. This is getting really choppy. Now, why? Now you gotta really think about what is happening here in the text. Let me go up here for a second. Let me take all this. How did they? Well, the bad guys, okay, the real evil ones, the stupid ones that corrupted the text. What they did was they literally went and took all the books, and I have a suspicion that many of the books about the kings, when they're talking about the kings, that is going to be a 4-verse format. But what the prophet did is going to be written in a 3-verse format, kind of like to separate the understanding of the books that they'd have. But there was many different writings about each of the kings and many different writings about the prophet. So all the words that say that you're seeing, even our Creator when he's speaking, they have embellished the words to put it into the format. And I think they did as well as they could, as long as they, all the other words as well. But you can see how much they've rewrote over the text. I'm doing my best to say that this is the most truthful words that I could trust for everybody else to understand that these other words have appeared in other prophecies. That's why I know they're true. Now, when it comes up to like when he's individually talking about Jesus and what he's going to do, this is his words and his understanding of his knowledge and hopefully of that prophet. Now, sometimes this is just a scribe writing or a priest writing or a king writing. So we don't have that. They've thrown that part out, so we don't know. But these words here, like I said, could have come from like the book of Kings telling the story, and it would have been the prophets at that time for that king, and these would have been taken from his writings of the prophet, and then this is what they would have done to write it after the king has died, that these 4-verse groupings is the true truths of what happened, and they've combined all the books together. This is my best understanding of this is like the third time I'm going through the text and finding the first writer's formats. Because the first time must have been 4 years ago. Then 2 years ago, I did them again because I wanted to record here my explanation of why I'm changing the words. I just thought that going through the second time doing this would have been better than the first time that I recorded it. So the thing here is I got better. And then I was probably down to the last 5 books when I realized how really good I got at this. And this time I'm going through and I'm going to do it for the last time because I have pulled out some verses I know that I just said I would be making it mine. But what's happening this time around when I'm doing it, because I'm doing so many can this become the correct verse, that all of a sudden these two did connect it, where maybe before I was reading them and I thought, I'm doing all this editing and I'm making it mine. But as you can see, I'm explaining why I'm making these word changes. So this is not cry aloud, it's cry out aloud. Cry out aloud. So I'm adding that. So I better do that. Cry out aloud and shout for joy. And I'm not going to use this because right now the subject is that he is coming, he's going to be made known. Whoops, this here was, I didn't need. To make known his acts among us, to remember, and that would be this us part. I don't know if I'd change it to them, because he is talking about to the future, like to make them remember. So yeah, if I change this to them, I guess that would be more correct. I didn't know, I guess, if I should first person it by him saying us in the future, meaning those obedient to our Creator are the true Israelis. Those that have gone away and don't believe in Jesus, those are the Jews. I have to use the words to mean what they mean and to divide those that fell away from Israelis who went on to the female goddess or just went away from our Creator. So now what I've got to say is because if this is 3 verse, these are 2 verse, so I've got to make sure that that's divided. And then and I'm just seeing, can I make because I could use maybe this verse to begin, but that doesn't really connect really well with the second sentence. As many as I've done, that I would have to use too many words. Anyway, so I don't see that. So I'm going to leave, because those two do connect together. So even though there are 3 verse, now these 4 verse pieces are here for his greatness. Just a second, I gotta take this. No, I don't have to take spam. I'm sorry about that. I'm adding this for his greatness. Whoops, it can't be like that. I gotta but I do want to make it red and say added this. For his greatness will be it's almost like I need this word end over here, will be in your midst. So I'll take it and get rid of there and put it here. How does that read? For his greatness will be in your midst. Let me see what the word midst among. I think among would be better. Them among you. Cry aloud and shout for joy, for his greatness will be among you. Talking to the people in the future. For his greatness will be among you. Now, Holy One. Let's take a look at the word Holy One, because see how it's two words, so they really don't mean the same. But holy, nobody on earth can be holy. Okay, let's just flat out say that. Where they're saying holy or sacred, what I would like to try to do is tell you that he's the highest from Israelis. So I'm going to say Israelis. Jesus, we know by his defining what Holy Spirit is, there is no Trinity. And that is also in my YouTube description. So you can take a look at that and watch that video. And I will say highest. Israelis. That's not the highest, our highest. Our highest from Israelis. Or is it Israelis? Or get rid of the word our and just say, for his greatness will be among you, our highest one from Israelis. I gotta say it that way. Now you know that he's talking to somebody here. Whether who it is, we'll find out later, I think, or not find out. But this is a promise. The word from is a promise from our Creator. So meaning he's from our Creator. He is from our Creator. So I'm going to use all red, but it's our Creator has promised him to come. So with that, where's 13 or 12? I don't need that. I don't need that. So, oops, I'm on 13 next. And what I do is I just paste it over here and do a cleanup. And hopefully this works really good here. We'll know if the coloring is, the highlight is gone here. Yes. What I found is that if I leave my computer in a sleep mode, that my macros don't always act the same the next time. Now, I usually put a space, then one space here, because I've got two verse. This is 3, so this goes here, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here. Then I have a comma here, and I have a comma here, and then there should be 2 spaces. But because this changes the text so quickly here to a 4 verse, I have to say this is part 2. Okay, part 2. And then this becomes that comma, period, comma, period, comma, period, comma, comma, period, period. This is about Jesus. This is about Jesus. This is about Jesus. Okay. And you know what I'm reading? I'm not really sure which two are grouped together. So what I'm going to do is just say, okay, next is going to be 13 here. So let me save the text there. Let me sneak peek here at how many verses, because it's short. I should put it in this video. But when it starts getting this long, that's a 2-hour video to do this many. Yeah, that's going to be a 2 hour and 15 minutes to go through there. So that would make it almost 3.5 hours. No, I'm going to call it end for the day, or for this video. And stop by and watch prophecy happen right before you. So hopefully you've learned a few things. And usually in the longer videos I get other maps and more detailed. So now here we finally got Isaiah's name here, which surprises me. Let me show you something real quick here, because I got time here. If I go, whoops, wrong mouse. If I go here and find Isaiah, and then, whoops, let me see, what have I got bookmarked? 7. Okay, no, that's not going to work. If I just go over here and I say, do a quick search for the word Isaiah, I know it's small, but the thing here is, look how many times he is mentioned in Kings. So when I'm saying that he was in Book of Kings, Chronicles is pretty much Kings as well, the order of things that happen. And then Isaiah, you can see I'm on chapter 13, and this is only the 4th time he's being mentioned. So if I go up here, yes, he's going to be mentioned more and more. But that's it right here. So, and then it looks like it's in Malachi. But that's the problem with the book Isaiah, because if I go over here and say, where is Isaiah? Here. And you can see the scroll bar. I can go down here, and there's 66 chapters. You think his name would be mentioned at least 30 times out of those, but or maybe even 66 times, but they don't. So this is really sad to see that the text is really not the way it originally was, I guess. So I'm setting this up for the next video, so I need to bookmark it here as I set it. When this program no longer exists, because way back in 1990, well, 95, I had to get a hold of this company that made this and informed them of the legal matters of how I stole word for word from their text. And then when they came and seen some of the videos I was doing and what I was showing, how corrupt the text is by using words that are just crazy over here. For example, let me show you some of that, because this video I'm able to do a few things here with this one. Let me bring up this and show you some of the crazy things that they did to the text. Okay. The word is boy. It's used as boy, but they used it as girls once. Okay, here's a desert, and it all of a sudden becomes a man's name 4 times. Okay, now here, the word dove, which is used pigeon and dove, but all of a sudden we get this one real long name once. So, and then this guy, the word nation turns into this long name 4 times. But you notice they use it as nation, and then they use it as a herd. That's just, you know, you know that what they're doing with the, I don't know why they did this, because anybody that should have been making that, they should have realized how stupid some of these things were when they started making them. But I have not seen it on the market since then, and I've gotten a hold of the company. They don't even know this part actually existed back in, I think I first started buying this program back in the 89, and I think the edition I got right now is 91 or 92. Anyways, it no longer exists at any place anywhere, so except for right here. So but I have given it to a few people. You do need like Windows XP, so when you see that screen, I've got a second computer here with virtual machine to be able to put it in the virtual machine XP, and then but it's running, the computer can be recognized as Windows 10, which works with OBS. It was a mess to find that out, but that's what it takes.